Hello and welcome. I'm joined by Jeremy Burton, President Product and Marketing at EMC Corporation. Jeremy, thank you very much for speaking with us.
My pleasure.
For first questions, what kind of gadgets or devices are you carrying or wearing on you right now?
Gadgets, just the one. I've just got the iPhone.
Okay.
So in fact, I should say the iPhone, I actually managed to drop it on my way out of the office, and it's the occupational hazard, I think, with any one of these devices. So I've got the Gorilla Glass broken screen.
Yeah. Not exactly an advertisement for Gorilla Glass.
but everything, my entire life is on that.
Right. And tell us about your customers. I mean, what are they looking for from you, and what are you trying, and how are you trying to help them shape their digital future?
Yeah, I'd say in the last 12 months, we have probably more customers than ever, and it really doesn't matter which industry, and they come and say at one level, hey, we need to become a software company. So I know the theme of the conference is around digital business. To me, some may well come, we want to redefine ourselves in a digital way, but a lot of them say, look, we need to become software companies. And when you ask why, they say, look, our product or our service, we need to deliver it on a phone or a tablet device direct to the consumer. And they've got many motivations for that. One of the biggest motivations is they're looking at a startup coming into their space who's starting to redefine the industry with the application that they've delivered. So in many cases they're responding to that, but these are organizations that maybe for the last 10 or 15 years have never written any software. They've been implementing packaged software, but writing software to differentiate or reinvent the business is a new gene.
And are they doing the right thing by asking you to do this, or you feel that they're going the wrong way?
Well, so we have a new operation inside EMC called Pivotal and Pivotal Labs, and that's about 500 agile software ninjas. And so we really help people exercise that gene or muscle of building software. And in a lot of ways, it's really like it's teaching people to build software for the first time, because the world of software development has changed in the last 10 years.
Give us an example of someone or a kind of company that you worked with.
Well, so for example, a sports retailer we had recently come to us, and they said, hey, we need to become a software company. And it was a little bit of a head scratcher, like, well, what do you mean? Well, their vision is that over the next 5 or 10 years, everything that they sell will have some kind of telemetric device. It will transmit data, it'll be collected by a phone. The phone will be able to summarize the information, present it to the consumer. That information will go up onto their website. And so there you have a sports retailer who maybe for 30 years has never known anything about their customers. All of a sudden, they're going to know everything about their customers, when they work out, how much they weigh, when they sweat. And that may open up an entirely new line of business for that company. They may look more like an online health company 10 years from now than a sports retailer. But I see this in media and entertainment industries. I see it in healthcare industries, and we see it in the automotive industry as well. And new companies coming in, redefining business models, and more often than not, the common theme is it is software delivered as applications on mobile devices. And then if there's a second theme, it's then help me analyze the information that application is generating, so that I can better tune the application and better serve the consumer.
Right. So if they've come to you, that obviously means they've crossed all the initial hurdles that maybe some companies need to cross. Yeah. But things can still go wrong, right? I mean, not every company is able to build out this new model and this new way of reaching out to the customer. Why does that happen? I mean, what's the lesson there?
And this is probably controversial, but we obviously talk to a lot of IT people. That's the core people who buy from EMC. And what we've seen is that the guys who are showing most success is they will carve off a completely separate entity to go after the new digital opportunity. And I think one of the hardest things to do as any senior executive is to say, look, the guys who've been doing the tech thing for the last decade, you guys are over there. You're going to keep the lights on and keep the systems running and make sure our email doesn't crash and the ERP system works well. And then we've got a new set of folks over here with a different DNA. You're going to drive the business transformation. I think the folks who really struggle, they try and morph the existing skill set and organization to the new. The guys that really make progress quickly are the ones who carve it off as a separate entity, and they go on a mission to take the hill. It creates a lot of friction, a lot of tension to manage, but those are the ones who tend to be more successful.
So let me again flip the question to the consumer. So what are consumers asking for, or what will they be demanding, including better Gorilla Glass, which will make the life of your customers tougher, and I guess for you too, and the people in your labs?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd go back to, we talked about the mobile phone, and I do give Apple a lot of credit here, right? They've conditioned the consumer, you or I, to expect a certain kind of experience. And I don't just want to access, Twitter and Facebook that way. I want to access all my business services that way. So any company that I interact with, I expect a consumer-grade experience. I expect the service to always be there and running. I expect it to be always performant. I expect new services to materialize over time, and I expect this app to be smarter about me over time. The pressure it creates from us, EMC, we're often the man behind the curtain. We, as I said, we have Pivotal Labs, which is a new division within EMC that will help people actually write the application. But those new applications, they're demanding a new kind of infrastructure. So, writing an application that will support 50 clerks in a department transacting is very different to an infrastructure which will support an app which potentially goes to 100,000 or 1 million users.
Right.
So you potentially have petabytes and exabytes of data and hundreds of thousands or millions of users. That's a very different infrastructure from the world that we've come from in the past. So it places a lot of stress on my product organization, because the scale of the problem that they're now trying to solve is an order of magnitude or two greater.
Right. So last question. So where do you see the most exciting, from your vantage point, stuff happening in terms of, is it could it be in healthcare? Could it be in education? I mean, in the next couple of years, who are the companies who will perhaps converge on the digital future the best in your mind? And what are the kind of things that will get created because of this effort?
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe, and this is because it's a passion. I find it, I'm a car guy, right? So I love cars. And 3 months ago, I bought a Tesla.
Oh.
And it's a Californian-built car, and it's really a software-defined car.
Yes.
And so I think the automotive industry is going to be transformed over the next decade. And most people believe, that's because it's going to go from gas to electricity. And sure, the Tesla is an electric car, and that is a big shift, and no transmission, no engine. It simplifies things. But what you find once you've driven the car is that, look, this is a connected device. And in some respects, Tesla have done to the car what Apple did to the smartphone. They changed the experience. And so when I look at that experience that's delivered, you look at the established manufacturers and think, man, if those guys don't get good at writing software quickly, then they're going to get beaten by this upstart. And the differentiator, to me at least, is not so much the electricity, the electric car. It's the fact that all the control systems in the car are entirely software defined. And every month or two, when I get in the car, I have a new software release, and things change. I've now got a fully automated beam on the car, so I don't have to switch it on and off. That wasn't there when I bought the car. So I think that is dramatically changing the automotive industry, and again, something I'm personally interested in. So I'm a big fan of that. But I firmly believe that every industry is going to be redefined by a new breed of software. And as I said, the guys who are really getting this first are the ones who are most threatened. Fear is a great motivator. And so you'll find where there's a startup in an industry changing the game, you've got the incumbent kind of banging on our door in particular saying, hey, help, we've got to react.
Perhaps that's a good place to start. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Jeremy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.